Today we are getting into Hoyas and I actually need your help.
Nothing like coming home to this. Yeah. My sweet mango.
Hi guys, my name is Shari. Welcome back to my channel. This is Scarab Cultivated, a place for plant lovers. If you are looking and admiring my merch, Plant Mother, I'm gonna have these on sale at my plant sale in 2 weeks, which is August 10th. Earlier this year, I acquired these Hoyas. Most of them were cut-ins. So for them to be established and doing pretty okay, I'm very happy about that. I don't know a lot of the names of these Hoyas. So comment below if you know the names so I can give them tags and research them a little bit more. I have never proclaimed to be a Hoya expert. I've never proclaimed to be an expert of any kind, but I do know plants. The reason I know plants is because I love learning. I love being educated and I want to learn more. These are from my previous collection and these are the cut-ins that I got. Some of the cut-ins I got earlier this year. I'll know one of my favorite Hoyas is Hoya ovata. I've made videos on that one. I'm hearing things. Filming in the garden is crazy, but it is so hot in Barbados right now that it is my only option and I'm trying to get back into my rhythm of YouTube, so I had to just film even though it's hot outside. Remember to give this video a like, a comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're a Hoya collector, if this video is making you consider getting Hoya. They're really good for plant parents who have other things going on in their lives, I would say. They're not so sensitive like some anthurium, some philodendron, definitely alocasias, calatheas. They're gonna withstand some neglect and I like that about them, but they do require some specific care and we're going to get into that in this video. So Hoya Care 101, this is what I've learned. You can tell me what you do and if it differs in any way. I have found that Hoyas do not like low light. They like dappled light the best, but they prefer bright light. So the ideal spot for these would be under a tree. And I'm talking to my girlies that grow plants outdoors. For you that grow indoors, of course, y'all can control your lighting. So your lighting should be perfect. I don't want to hear nothing if you grow your plants indoors and you're struggling with lighting. Just buy some more bulbs. You'll be fine. But for my girlies that grow outdoors, dappled light, filtered light, the way the sun is like coming through the canopy of the trees, Hoyas really like that, but they have to have some light on them. Have not had a Hoya yet that does not like bright light. Every single one that I have so far really enjoys bright light, but on the flip side, they can also burn. So you have to be careful about that. I have had several Hoyas burn because I've given them too much light, too much direct sun, midday sun. They like that gentle morning light, or they like dappled light throughout the day. Another tip for Hoyas is that they like to be fertilized, as with all plants. Honestly, whenever my orchids need fertilizer, I try to fertilize my other plants as well, and that makes it easy for me rather than saying, oh, today I'm going to fertilize my Hoyas, the next day I'm going to fertilize my philodendron. I don't do that. That is a lot of work, and I have too many plants. I have hundreds of plants, so to do that would require too much on my part, so I don't do it. Hoyas really appreciate foliar feeding. What is foliar feeding? It is basically giving fertilizer through leaves. So spraying them with fertilizer rather than just putting it in the soil. I'm trying to hut this, but I need a clip. Rather than just putting it in the soil, they really, really appreciate getting their leaves and their little roots. They like to make sure that those get some fertilizer and they will reward you with blooms if you are consistent with that. I've seen on Instagram the trend of spraying your Hoyas with orchid fertilizer, aka something that is marketed as orchid fertilizer, but it's just really a wheat fertilizer. Just spray your Hoyas with wheat fertilizer. Like do it at half strength and spray them, every week, every couple days, and they'll be okay. Like once is like at a weak strength. Let's talk about watering. Hoyas do not love to be overwatered, and if you overwater them, they will reward you with root mealies. What are root mealies? Mealy bugs that grow in the soil around the roots. They're disgusting and they definitely stifle the growth of your plant. If you are dealing with the plant and you're seeing that there is less and less, I've started fertilizing these after neglecting them for some time, growth on the plant, and maybe all of a sudden it stopped and the growth looks a little strange and like wrinkly and maybe smaller, then you're probably dealing with root mealies and you don't even know it. On the surface, everything looks fine. There's no pests on the undersides of your leaves. There's nothing on the tendrils, nothing. But if you unpot that plant and you see this white powdery thing, those are root mealies, and you want to get rid of that soil or sterilize the soil and treat it as you would for pests. So I tend to let these dry out. I don't like my Hoyas getting too wet because I don't like root mealies. And I try to weaken the fertilizer, but also make sure that it is a complete fertilizer. Letting these re-fertilizer, these big ones, for quite some time as they were acclimating, getting used to being on in different pots, but now that they're growing consistently, I need to be fertilizing them regularly because plants use this fertilizer and they go through so much of their nutrients, especially in the summer when it's hot, that you have to continuously fertilize them. And again, don't give them too much sunlight, but it's all trial and error. So I can only know that it's too much light if I try it. And sometimes that comes at a cost, but I try to be smart with it and I don't lose too many leaves in the process. In terms of what I pot the Hoyas in, currently they're in clay pots, but when it's dry season, I'll probably keep them in plastic pots. And these are my established Hoyas that will be in clay pots because they can handle the drying out. When I'm growing something from a cut-in like this one, I keep it in plastic because it retains more moisture and the roots are now developing, so they need that moisture. Now I really need your help and hopefully you can tell me more about these plants because I don't know the names. I'm going to start with the one that I think I know the name of, and that is this one. I believe that this is related to this. I think this is a macrophylla red. Um, when it grows another new leaf, we will see what it looks like. But I believe that this is a macrophylla red. The leaves that I got this with are completely dead. I got it with 2 leaves. I'm looking forward to this growing because they're so fat and I love the veins. So hopefully this catches on a little bit quicker. I do need to add some more soil to it because I see some roots that are not covered. So we definitely need to add some more soil, but that is number 1. This baby, oh my gosh, I just love her. She's so splashy. What is this? I really, really love the size of the leaves with the splash. I think that she's going to grow into a lovely girl. We have a new growth, and Hoyas tend to have that growth habit of having those tendrils that are really long, and then they put leaves and blooms on those tendrils and peduncles. So hopefully this speeds up, but I think it's up to me to give her some fertilizer to encourage that speedy growth. I'm not seeing many roots. Oh, I do see some roots here. They're not that many, but they're enough to make me confident that, some growth is happening. And I wish you the best, my darling. Please let me know if you guys know what Hoya this is. I don't know why Parasitica Splash keeps coming to me. Is that a Hoya I ordered? I don't know. Next up is this cutie bear in this terrible pot. So I need to find a new pot for her. But isn't she so adorable? She's so cute. I really love her. She only has the one, again, these were cut in, so she only has the one strand, but I'm seeing a lot of aerial root growth and the leaves don't look too bad. So hopefully she is doing okay and she will give me new growth soon. I really need you to grow, but I also need the ID. I don't know what this is. Am I don't be tired of me. Just help me. I told y'all I didn't know what they were called. So yeah, this one is pretty. I love that. And if I do find the names, I'll put them on the screen, but probably won't. Now, who are you? I have no clue on this one. Original leaf is so much splashier. I see why I bought it. And I'm wondering if I'm not giving it enough light to get that splashiness, or if the where it was cut for variegation didn't work out for it. Because I see some splashiness, but is nothing in comparison to that first original leaf. But I do see some roots, and that is great. Roots are the most important part of the plant, so that is good. I think these might be the same. This one is definitely splashier. She has a lot of new growth coming. The problem with the tendrils, I don't even know if that's the correct term, but the problem with them is that they break so fast in my collection because of my setup. There's so many other plants around them that they kind of break really quickly, but hopefully these will stay on and they won't break because that's where the new leaves come from. This must be my favorite one that I got for myself. I have been through such a journey with this plant. I'm surprised it's not dead yet. Pray that it catches and gives me some lovely new growth. But this plant has had these two leaves for a very, very long time, and it hasn't given me any new growth. And it kept getting knocked over. So every time it would come out, it would be dried up and shriveled up. But it isn't dead yet. I'm not gonna pot it because I don't want to disturb it. I feel like it finally might be happy. So now I'm hoping that it can regain some strength and put out some good roots and hopefully get some leaves in a couple months after those roots get established. But she's gorgeous and big. So what could this be? What is the name of that? Do you see the size of it? It's large. What is that? I don't know, but it was my favorite one that I got. This one I have big dreams for. This is my inspiration picture. And that's what I want from this tiny little cut-in that I got. It's a Hoya ovovata inner variegated splash, and it is just absolutely stunning. But my new growth isn't really giving me much variegation, and it isn't giving me much splash. So I'm really praying that a miracle occurs so that this can really be its best self, because I am interested in growing these Hoyas from scratch. Like, all of these Hoyas are cut-ins. I'm interested in seeing them grow big from being small, tiny babies. I'm gonna keep on trucking along and I'm gonna fertilize them today. This is the last one, and I think we can all guess that this is some kind of Callistophylla. Is that the correct word? Is on the screen. I think we can assume that this is one of those for sure. But she has new growth. Again, the tendrils tend to snap because they're so long. It's kind of frustrating because I want it to grow really long. I think I need to invest in some butterfly clips to keep them together. Don't you just love the pattern? It's a brighter green, which is one of my favorite greens. Nice veining is really beautiful. So I really love that as well. And I'm hoping that they all grow beautifully. But what about you guys? Are you guys into your Hoya era yet? Like, I feel like people try to tell me this would happen, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, what do Hoyas have to offer? And they're legitimately the best plants. If you have a lot of travel, if you are somebody who is not interested in watering your plants every single day and making plants your entire personality, Hoyas are great for that, like, because they're so easy here and they don't show signs of stress as much as some other plants do. But are y'all in your Hoya era? Are you loving Hoyas? Are you like not a fan? Will you consider starting? Like, let me know below. Tell me any that I need to collect, any sale that I have. The people love the Hoyas. But thank you so much, you guys. I hope that you really enjoyed this little plant haul slash tour of some of the Hoyas that I'm growing right now. and I hope you leave all your tips so I can grow them even better. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to support my channel and encourage me to keep posting. Bye!